Eichmann's own attitude was different. First of all, the indictment for murder was wrong. With the killing of Jews, I had nothing to do. I never killed a Jew or a non-Jew, for that matter. I never killed any human being. I never gave an order to kill either a Jew or a non-Jew. I just did not do it. Or, as he was later to qualify this statement, it so happened that I had not once to do it. For he left no doubt that he would have killed his own father if he had received an order to that effect. Hence he repeated over and over what he had already stated in the so-called Sassen documents, the interview that he'd given in 1955 in Argentina to the Dutch journalist Sassen, a former SS man who was also a fugitive from justice, and that after Eichmann's capture had been published in part by Life in this country and by Der Stern in Germany, that he could be accused only of aiding and abetting the annihilation of the Jews, which he declared in Jerusalem to have been one of the greatest crimes in the history of humanity. The defence paid no attention to Eichmann's own theory, but the prosecution wasted much time in an unsuccessful effort to prove that Eichmann had once, at least, killed with his own hands a Jewish boy in Hungary, and spent even more time and more successfully on a note that Franz Rademacher, the Jewish expert in the German Foreign Office, had scribbled on one of the documents dealing with Yugoslavia during a telephone conversation, which read, "Eichmann proposes shooting." This turned out to be the only order to kill, if that is what it was, for which there existed even a shred of evidence. The evidence was more questionable than it appeared to be during the trial, at which the judges accepted the prosecutor's version against Eichmann's categorical denial, a denial that was very ineffective, since he had forgotten the brief incident, a mere 8,000 people, which was not so striking, as Servatius put it. The incident took place in the autumn of 1941, 6 months after Germany had occupied the Serbian part of Yugoslavia. The army had been plagued by partisan warfare ever since, and it was the military authorities who decided to solve two problems at a stroke by shooting 100 Jews and Gypsies as hostages for every dead German soldier. To be sure, neither Jews nor Gypsies were partisans, but in the words of the responsible civilian officer in the military government, a certain Staatsrat Harald Turner, "The Jews we had in our camps, anyhow. After all, they too are Serb nationals, and besides they have to disappear," quoted by Raoul Hilberg in The Destruction of the European Jews, 1961.